All right, number one, you have the kidneys here. Two is the ureters that are this tube that come from the kidneys and extend into the bladder. And this whole bit is the urinary bladder, also seen here. It has four different layers. It has the mucosal layer of the transitional epithelium. That's all of this seen in here. Then the submucosa, which you can't see, and you have the detrusor muscle along here, and outside, all that is the fibrous adventitia. Then this little triangle here is the trigone, and this tube extending out of the bladder is the urethra. Then we move on to the other model. This whole thing along here, this brown part is the renal capsule, and this outer portion, seen all along here, is your cortex. Inner portion, all of that is the medulla. Then each separate one of these are the renal pyramids, where they meet down here. Each little part is the renal papilla. Then you have your renal columns. These extend into the medulla from the cortex and separate your renal pyramids. Then these little cups along here, those are called the calyces. The singular would be a calyx. Where they meet is your renal pelvis. Then you have your renal artery and vein coming along here. All right, the first branch off of the renal artery and vein is your segmental artery and vein. And you go to the interlobar arteries and veins. They run between each of the lobes. Then your arcuate will separate your cortex and your medulla. And then the cortical radiate out through the cortex. Next, we move on to the nephron. That's the tube system. I believe this is a renal corpuscle. Then the proximal convoluted tubule is this little squiggly bit right here coming off of what is this? The glomerular capsule. Then coming down here, you have the descending limb of the loop of Henle, the actual loop of Henle, the ascending limb, which leads into the distal convoluted tubule. That leads into the collecting duct, which runs